as we know, Mother does know best, and my mother always made a really fantastic beefsteak pie, but I didn't know it was called a beefsteak pie. I just was like, yummy, I'll eat lots of that. And so it's really simple. You can see how few ingredients we need to create an absolutely delicious dish. So the main part, of course, is the beef, which I've already cut into good sized pieces, not too small, you know, not too big, because when it goes into the pie, obviously you want to be able to eat it comfortably without a massive chunk having to deal with that. The next main ingredient is the onion, which I've also pre-chopped. This is just a rough chop. I don't like fine dicing in pies. I like things to be a little bit on the chunky side. Mushrooms, these were swept down quite a lot, so they look a little bit big, but they'll sweat down, and if some look too large, I can easily just cut them a little bit in the pan itself. Just 3 spices, flavorings. Salt, I use grey salt, a tablespoonful. This is a pound of beef, so a tablespoonful of salt is not a huge amount. I like a little bit of heat, spice in the pie, but if you overdo it, it'll just ruin the flavour completely. So that's just a teaspoon of chili flakes, and about a tablespoon of herbs. And in this one, this is thyme. I also like to put rosemary in and basil, but I'm just going to go with the thyme on this. Around about a cup of stock. So the stock I use is a vegetable stock. You can use bone broth, chicken stock, beef stock, whichever one you prefer. In this little dish is something quite delicious. It looks a little bit not delicious, but it is actually some pork dripping, and so that's going to add a lot of flavour, and I roughly have about a tablespoon there. There was more, but we've used it in various other things. You're going to need some flour. As you know, the flour we use is spelt flour, which is an ancient grain, but you don't have to have ancient grain. You won't need all this. This is just an easy, accessible container that I use, so it's to hand. But the first thing we're going to do is actually roll out the pastry. And this just so happens to look exactly like my mother's rolling pin. It isn't hers, which would be lovely if it is, or was, but it's not. But it's exactly the kind that she used. The painted handles, the wood roller, I'm very comfortable with using that. And I like to have on hand this pastry cutter. It's just so simple to use and makes life a lot easier. And the other little thing you're going to need is a fork, and that will be to first thing the pastry. When we roll the pastry out, is that we're going to blind bake it. So we just have a little bit of flour onto the board. Ease that around the board. You're not going to need very much because this is a high fat content pastry, so it tends not to stick anyway. And like I said, we need to take off around about the third. So there we go. So we can just put that to one side, and then we'll just make our pastry into a round again. And the one thing about pastry is don't be afraid of it. If it cracks, it's not the end of the world. It's very easy to fix. And basically, this is a hearty dish. So everything that's in it is hearty, and that includes the pastry. And a hearty dish doesn't mean that it's going to be difficult to eat or not very good for you, because everything here, as you have witnessed, is completely natural. Using your pastry cutter, you're just going to give it a little bit of teasing. By eye, I can see that I reach the centre on two sides, if there are sides to a circle. And just so I find it the easiest way to take it off the board is to pop your pin on the top and roll it gently onto the pin until it's 3/4 off the board, and then you can just literally hold it onto the pin. Bring your this is just to ease it into place. I'm just going to push it around a little bit, hold the dish, get your hand, spray your hand out, and you can see that moved around very easily, so it's no big deal. It's just, you know, be confident. And I've done it 100 times. I've moved it and created a hole right in the middle. It's no big deal. So it's not perfect, but you can almost make it perfect. So you've got it pretty much centered. And I know that here's low and here's high, so I just move it up a little bit like this. And I'll move it this way a little bit, because here's high, here's low. There we go. So with my hand in the middle, I can tease the pastry up the side and just keep moving it around, and I'm not pressing it really hard against the pastry, the pie dish, but I'm just letting it form into place. That just comes off, and you just zip it around the top if there's quite a lot of overhang. So we're pretty much there, you know, we're almost at the very top of the pie dish, all the way around. We're blind baking, so we just take your fork and turn it in there for you to see. You're just prodding, you're not going all the way through, you're just basically dibbling. Like so. I tend to do the edge first. It's just the way I am. Don't have to. You just keep going until you've met up where you started, and then you can just kind of like gently holding the fork, like so. Same as what we did before, putting the pin roughly in the centre of the pastry, and this top is actually a bit thinner than what I would normally do, but as I said earlier, I was at the end of the batch of pastry, so I'm just going to help it on a little bit more and ease it over the top, like so. Just let it fall. If these wounds were not there, I'll show you what you would do. Is that around about 2 inches from the centre, create another slit, and you just create 4 more. And I'll do it anyway so that you can see.